welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Onward VR Master League. I am your caster, Noman with a 4. I'm joined on the desk in that beautiful little image in the top right of your screen by Mr. Sleepy with 2-3. Sleepy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing so well, in fact. It's the battle of the siblings this evening, Saturday night sibling fights.
It is exactly that. We've got an interesting matchup. This doesn't happen often in the league. We do have some family members, some siblings playing in the league. They have sometimes been on opposite teams, but this is a little bit of a bigger matchup, right? It's Globochem, where we've got sort of the two famous brothers, Auto and Thunder. And on the Dark Matter side, their challengers for today, it is Dr. Aquafighter, which is the sister to that storied duo, and she's the captain of that team. That is the old Fire Team Alpha from Season 9, rebranded with a couple new members, couple roster shifts. But she's the captain of that team, and of course Auto and Thunder are the sort of shared captains of the Globochem team. So it's an interesting matchup here in that it is a sibling rivalry. So we thought it'd be pretty fun to bring this out on a Saturday night and see how these two teams square up against each other.
Yeah, that's right. Things just getting going now. The teams are filing into the lobby. Going to be an interesting matchup. I mean, Dark Matter has been doing quite well for a new team. They're not a rebranded team, if I'm remembering correctly, right, Noman? This is a brand new construction, or is...
No, Dark Matter is Fire Team Alpha that has been rebranded. Dr. Aquafighter was on that team last season. I believe she took over as captain, and then it was renamed to Dark Matter.
You know, it's kind of nice to get something other than those more typical militaristic names that we've been seeing a lot more of recently. You know, we've got SEAL Team Bravo, we've got SMC Tactical, you've got there was more. Now I've forgotten them. But and Fire Team Alpha was another one, of course. But I think a lot of that rings from the fact that Sickness was out here just starting up teams and then just going AWOL or departing or no longer being on those rosters, but the teams carry on for the most part.
Yeah, he plants the seed, and it's worked out. It's worked out quite well for a few teams, and they're good teams. He definitely does good work there in training those folks up. It's usually sort of newer members of the community or not veteran players for the most part. But let's get ourselves into bans and picks here, because the teams are basically all in and ready. They're just waiting for our go. So the home ban, Globochem, is coming out with a Suburbia ban. And then the sister of that storied duo, the Dark Matter captain, has chosen Quarantine as the Dark Matter ban. The first map, of course, selected is going to be Bazaar. All right, Sleepy. Yeah, thoughts on those bans? Honestly, to me, they feel pretty stock, pretty standard. But anything jump out at you?
No, jump out at me? Absolutely not. They're very solid bans, good smart bans on both sides. Quarantine is one of Globochem's best maps. It gives them the space to spread out that they like to do when they execute their attacks. They do it well. They manage their time well. They play their defense well on that map. So for a team like Dark Matter, who's not necessarily a new team, but not necessarily a veteran team, it's probably best to stay off that block today. And the ban for Suburbia from Globochem doesn't quite surprise me either. I've been watching a little bit of Dark Matter's play earlier on from this season, and they do tend to play Suburbia quite well. They have good teamwork, so I'll be excited to see what they pull out here on Bazaar, which also kind of rewards that same type of teamwork and play. So we could see... I don't know. I'm really kind of hoping for out of the blue upset from Dark Matter here, but you never know here in the Onward VRML.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we bring the sibling rivalry up, right? There's got to be some transfer of skill. It's got to be genetic at some level. So Dr. Aquafighter, a very strong player, but her team is strong as well. I mean, Zucchini Zong, High Voltage, Mad Outdoors, Esco are the current lineup behind her here. All very good players from various teams, a good collection, I would say. And of course, the Globochem roster is coming out with Thunder Pilot, Izzy, Auto, Toast, and Mike Crook. Those are the starting lineups for both here on this Bazaar. matchup. I think it's going to be, you know what? It's going to be a slower paced game. I think they're going to have to feel each other out a little bit on Bazaar, right? I mean, especially on a map like this where lots of tight corridors, lots of areas to check. They're going to have to be cautious and sort of get a feel for how these teams play. I know they scrim each other. I've definitely seen them scrimming in lobbies before. I know there's definitely been some cross-pollination of strategies and coordination between these teams, so they definitely know each other a little bit, but a lot of that goes out the door. Scrims are not the same thing as a full-blown match, and I think it's going to take a little bit for Dark Matter to sort of get acclimated to this, and for GloboChem as well to prep themselves for anything new. So I'm pretty excited. Sleepy, I mean, you sort of already said, like, hey, maybe an upset, but what do you think about Bazaar? I mean, this is definitely a GloboChem map. It is their pick. They're starting off on Marsoc. It's a map they feel comfortable on. What do you feel is gonna shake out here?
Well, I kind of want to say that both teams are going to be kind of feeling each other out, like you said, but at the same time, I saw both of these teams warming up against two other top NA worldwide competitors in G-Men and SMC who just clashed last night in an explosive game that was covered by Nightfire. So both of these teams should be nice and lubed up, oiled up, ready to go. I mean, no questions asked. These guys should be guys and gals. Excuse me, let me not make that mistake. Ready to go at it, just full force right from round one, and I hope to see it. But it is very possible that Dark Matter